What if everything you've been taught about failure is completely backwards? What if the moments that made you question yourself, the rejection emails, failed businesses, bad grades, awkward interviews, and painful mistakes, weren't signs that you weren't good enough? What if they were actually the reason some people eventually succeed, while others stay stuck? It sounds almost ridiculous, doesn't it? After all, nobody dreams about failing. Nobody wakes up thinking, I hope today is the day everything goes wrong. Yet history tells a fascinating story. Nearly every extraordinary success is built on a foundation most people never see. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're trying to avoid failure at all costs, you might also be avoiding your greatest opportunity to grow. So, before you decide failure is your enemy, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may start seeing your biggest setbacks as your greatest competitive advantage. Imagine two young entrepreneurs. Both have brilliant ideas. Both are equally intelligent and motivated. The first launches a business that fails within 6 months. Customers disappear. Money runs out. Friends quietly stop asking how things are going. Embarrassed, they give up completely. The second entrepreneur experiences almost the exact same failure. But instead of seeing it as proof they aren't capable, they begin asking questions. What went wrong? What did customers actually want? Which assumptions were wrong? They study every mistake, improve their strategy, and try again. Years later, that second entrepreneur builds a multi-million-dollar company. Same failure. Completely different outcome. The difference wasn't intelligence, it wasn't talent, it was interpretation. Failure itself doesn't build winners. The way winners respond to failure does. Psychologists call this a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset don't believe their abilities are fixed. They believe skills can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Instead of hearing failure say, "You're not good enough," they hear it whisper, "Not yet." That tiny difference changes everything. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain is designed to learn far more from mistakes than from success. Think about riding a bicycle. Did you learn because you never fell? Of course not. You learned because every wobble, every scrape, and every failed attempt gave your brain new information. Mistakes became instructions. Success often tells us, keep doing what you're doing. Failure asks, what needs to change? Guess which one teaches more? Quick question, have you ever reread a perfect exam just to admire it? Probably not, but you've almost certainly spent hours thinking about a mistake that cost you points. Our brains naturally focus on errors, because that's how humans survived for thousands of years. We evolved by correcting mistakes, not celebrating perfection. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Consider Michael Jordan. Before becoming one of the greatest basketball players in history, he was famously cut from his high school varsity basketball team. Imagine hearing that today. The future greatest player wasn't considered good enough. Or think about Walt Disney. Early in his career, he was fired from a newspaper because his editor claimed he lacked imagination. That's almost impossible to believe now. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by multiple publishers before one finally gave it a chance. Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, the company he helped create. At first glance, these stories seem inspiring, but most people miss the deeper lesson. Their success wasn't impressive because they failed. It was impressive because they kept moving. Despite failure, failure wasn't the destination. It was the training ground. And here's something that might surprise you. People who succeed very early sometimes struggle more later in life. Why? Because they've never built resilience. When the first major setback arrives, it feels catastrophic. It's like building a skyscraper on shallow foundations. Everything looks impressive until the first storm arrives. Failure builds emotional strength. Every difficult conversation you survive makes the next one easier. Every rejection makes future rejection slightly less painful. Every setback teaches you that discomfort is temporary. Over time, you stop fearing failure because you've already proven you can survive it. That's confidence. Notice something interesting? Real confidence doesn't come from always winning. It comes from knowing you'll be okay, even when you lose. There's another psychological phenomenon called anti-fragility. Most things break under stress. Glass shatters. Machines wear down. But some systems actually become stronger because of stress. Your muscles are the perfect example. When you lift weights, you're creating tiny tears in muscle fibers. Your body repairs those tears by making the muscles stronger than before. Growth requires stress. The same principle applies to your mind. Every challenge forces your brain to adapt, solve problems, and become more capable. Without resistance, there is no growth. Think about video games for a second. Imagine buying a game where every level was easy. No enemies, no obstacles, no chance of losing. Sounds relaxing for about 5 minutes, and then incredibly boring. We enjoy games because overcoming difficulty feels rewarding. Strangely, we want life to be the exact opposite. We expect life to become easier instead of becoming stronger. And that's where many people get trapped. Social media doesn't help either. Every day we're flooded with highlight reels, promotions, engagements, luxury vacations, six-figure businesses, perfect physiques. What we don't see are the failed auditions, sleepless nights, rejected applications, embarrassing mistakes, and years of invisible effort that came before those moments. We compare our behind-the-scenes struggles with someone else's highlight reel. No wonder failure feels lonely. But here's the reality. Every successful person carries a collection of failures you'll probably never hear about. The entrepreneur remembers failed businesses. The athlete remembers painful losses. The musician remembers empty audiences. The author remembers rejection letters. Failure is rarely visible. Success almost always is. Now let's talk about something practical. The next time you fail, instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That single question changes your brain from victim mode into learning mode. Instead of looking for blame, you start looking for lessons. Instead of protecting your ego, you start improving your future. That's what winners do differently. They don't romanticize failure. They use it. Of course, this doesn't mean every failure automatically leads to success. Repeating the same mistake over and over isn't growth. Reflection is what transforms failure into wisdom. Experience alone isn't enough. Analyzed experience is. The people who improve aren't necessarily those who fail the most. They're the ones who learn the fastest. Imagine two people making the exact same mistake. One blames bad luck. The other writes down what happened, adjusts their strategy, and tries again. A year later, their lives look completely different. Not because of talent, because of feedback. Here's the irony. The people most afraid of failure often experience the least success because fear keeps them from taking action. They never start the business. They never ask for the promotion. They never approach the person they admire. They never publish the idea. Failure hurts. Regret lasts much longer. So maybe the real goal isn't avoiding failure. Maybe it's becoming someone who isn't controlled by it. Because every winner you admire has something in common. Not perfect timing, not perfect talent, not perfect luck. They simply refused to let failure write the final chapter. If today's setback feels overwhelming, remember this. It may eventually become the story you tell about where everything changed. Failure doesn't mean you're falling behind. Sometimes it means you're finally moving forward. And that's why failure builds winners. If this video changed the way you think about setbacks, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe for more psychology, self-growth, and mindset content designed to help you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Until next time, remember, success isn't the opposite of failure. It grows from it.